Good evening, everybody. It's Emily again. I know I have not recorded a video since my hair was blonde. A lot has changed in the last couple months. I got a job. I changed my hair color from blonde to purple to black because my job did not allow me to have purple hair. So I washed most of the purple out and dyed it black. Well, anyways, the concept of this video is talk about, well, I'll start here. This video might trigger some people, whatever, like, if it triggers you, I'm sorry, and I will put a trigger warning on my stuff, but this video is more about something that I'm going through now. I guess it's just part of my life, I guess. This last week, on August 26th of 2018, I tried to commit suicide by jumping out of a moving vehicle on the highway, and then I jumped out of the car into oncoming traffic. And it not only hurt me mentally, but it also hurt the person that was driving the vehicle. Because the person that was driving the vehicle also saved my life. If it was not for them and for their stubbornness and their caring and them actually wanting me to live, I probably wouldn't be here recording this video. But before we parted ways and we stopped speaking, when I was in the hospital, which was this last week, I got discharged yesterday, and it is, I think, like almost 2 o'clock in the morning right now. I can't sleep because I'm usually awake right now because I work grave shift, but I'm not working until tomorrow night. Anyways, before we parted ways, they gave me a book, and it's called Emotional Intelligence, Why It Can Matter More Than IQ, by Daniel Goleman, and it's the 10-year anniversary edition. It looks like this. And I'm about halfway through the 5th chapter, and this is more like, kind of like a book recommendation for people who are going through some stuff emotionally, or they don't understand what they're going through, or why they're not, like, why they are going through it, or why they can't, like, have empathy or whatever. But honestly, I'm not even halfway through the book. Like, I'm not even halfway through it. And I've had a lot of time because on the 26th I was admitted to the hospital and I got discharged on the 30th, and it gave me a lot, like, not just the book alone, but not having my phone on me and not having that connection to, like, reach out to somebody, not just like on an emotional level, but more of like, hey, I'm bored, you know, fill my spare time with like boring blank words, or just say hi to me. And it also made me open my eyes to a lot of things, like, especially reading this book, it made me open my eyes to a lot of things that I have been doing repeatedly since, I think my trauma started when I was like 8 years old. It might have started sooner, I don't know, but that's as far back as I can remember. And my trauma started when I was 8, and it continued into my 20s because I got married to somebody who caused my PTSD and everything to get worse. And I'm not badgering, saying that he was a bad man, because that's not my place to say. But I never had a break in trauma. It went from my childhood trauma up until my 20s to me meeting my ex-husband and being in a traumatic, abusive relationship, whatever. Anyways, this book is a really good book, and I really do recommend it. There's a part in the book that's right here, and it's called The Neural Tripwire. It says, most intriguing for understanding the power of emotions in mental life are those moments of impassioned action that we later regret. Once the dust has settled, the question is how we so easily become so irrational. Take, for example, a young woman who drove 2 hours to Boston to have brunch and spend time with her boyfriend. During brunch, he gave her a present she'd been wanting for months, a hard-to-find art print brought back from Spain. But her delight dissolved the moment she suggested that after brunch, they go to a matinee of a movie she'd been wanting to see, and her friend stunned her by saying he couldn't spend the day with her because he had softball practice. Hurt and incredulous, she got up in tears, left the cafe, and on impulse threw the print in a garbage can. Months later, recounting the incident, it's not walking away she regrets, but it's the loss of the print. It is in these moments, such as these, when impulsive feeling overrides the rational, and the newly discovered role for the amygdala is pivotal. Incompleting signals from the senses let the amygdala scan every experience for trouble. This puts the amygdala in a powerful post in mental life. Something like a psychological sentinel channeling every situation, every perception, with but one kind of question in mind, the most primitive. Is this something I hate? That hurts me? Something I fear? If so, if the moment at hand somehow draws a yes, the amygdala reacts instantaneously like a neural tripwire, telegraphing a message of crisis to all parts of the brain. The brain's architecture, the amygdala, is poised something like an alarm company, where operators stand ready to send out emergency calls to the fire department, police, and a neighbor whenever a home security system signals trouble. When it sounds off an alarm of, say, fear, it sends urgent messages to every major part of the brain. It triggers the secretion of the body's fight or flight hormones, mobilizes the center for movement, and activates the cardiovascular system, the muscles, and the gut. Other circuits from the amygdala signal the secretion of emergency dollops of the hormone nephromining, I don't know how to pronounce it, to heighten the reactivity of key brain areas, including those that make the senses more alert, in effect setting the brain on edge. Additional signals from the amygdala tell the brainstem to fix the face in a fearful expression, freeze unrelated movements the muscle had underway, speed heart rate, and raise blood pressure, slow breathing. Others rivet attention on the source of the fear and prepare the muscles to react accordingly. Simultaneously, cortical memory systems are shuffled to retrieve any knowledge relevant to the emergency at hand, taking precedence over the other strands of thought. And these are just part of carefully coordinated array of changes the amygdala orchestrates as it commandeers areas throughout the brain for a more detailed account. The amygdala's extensive web of neural connections allows it, during the emotional emergency, to capture and drive the rest of the brain, including the rational brain. So, that whole part that I just totally screwed up reading because it's 2 o'clock in the morning and I am tired and I wanted to get this out of my head. That whole part, really got to me because I had just tried to jump out of a moving vehicle going 80 miles, probably 80 miles on the freeway, not thinking of the person driving the car, not thinking of how my parents would think or feel or anything, my friends, nobody. It mattered. Even myself, nobody mattered to me. And I tried to jump out of the car. Thank God I'm still here. You know, I'm healthy. I didn't get any scrapes, like a couple bruises, but you know, that's gonna happen when someone's trying to keep you in a vehicle and you're trying to fight them to get out of the vehicle. And I get it. Like, I feel horrible because I know what it feels like to be traumatized. I know what it feels like to have someone that you care about cause trauma to, like, towards you. And it really sucks, like, being on the other side. Like, my friend won't even talk to me now because of all the stuff that happened. Like, they'll say, like, a response maybe if I'm lucky, but it is only Friday and this happened less than a week ago. So, you know, I need to give them time. It's just really hard for me because they were really close and they were somebody that I really did care about, and I feel bad because I caused them some sort of mental turmoil or trauma. I mean, like, they even told me that they had thoughts of, you know, the worst, you know, my body all over the fucking freeway, whatever. But, you know, I'm not going to go into details because that was a personal conversation between me and them. But it just, it's upsetting because, like, I feel like the people who have abused me in my past and caused the trauma that I have, I feel kind of like them now because of the fact that I caused trauma to someone else. Like, I feel like I'm no better than them because I put everybody else's needs to the side. I mean, it was just me and that person in the car. So it wasn't like someone was sitting behind me. There wasn't a child in the car. You know, I'm happy for that. But there was still two people in the car. If I'm going to harm myself, I need to find... Well, I shouldn't harm myself. Period. It's not okay. It's selfish. It's stupid. You know, I get it. Like, I really do. It's something that I feel like, okay, well, you know, I'm gonna do the XYZ and it's gonna make me feel like the solution. Like, it's gonna make me feel better because I did XYZ and a couple times it didn't make me feel good, but maybe if I do it this time it might make me feel better. And it's not the first time I've tried to jump out of a moving vehicle, so I kind of had a idea of what might happen. But the first time I jumped out of a moving vehicle, 1, the car was going slower. 2, the car was not on an interstate. 3, I did not jump in front of a diesel afterwards and scream, "Please kill me." And 4, the person who was driving the vehicle the first time let me get out of the car while they were going 20 miles an hour and drove off. And I didn't speak to them for like 2 weeks because they didn't want anything to do with me. And that was it. But, you know, I hope me and my friend can fix whatever, you know. I mean, I know that it's going to take a long time because they were literally like, when they came to see me the first day, they had brought one of my other friends with them. And my friend that I've had for over 10 years had told me, you know, don't ever do that again. If you do that again, I'm going to bring you back to life and kill you myself. You know, everybody says that shit. And, like, I know that she's telling the truth, because if she had the power to bring me back to life, to kill me herself, and then bring me back to life again, she would really do it, because she's my best friend. And I know that my friend that was there, kind of, like, my other friend, not the one that said they would kill me, but the friend that was in the car driving, kind of put their emotions aside when my other friend was there, because they didn't want to show that side to somebody that they really don't know that well. And then they came back the next day to bring me the book that they were letting me read, and they told me everything. They started crying, and I felt so horrible. And I still feel so bad, because, like, I don't want to cause anybody pain, because I know what it feels like, and I know it doesn't feel good. And, like, I got discharged yesterday, and even all day today, I just been, like, caught up in my head, like, in my emotions, like, you know, they don't want anything to do with me right now, because they're trying to heal, they're trying to move on from this, whatever. But, like, I got close to this person. Like, there's somebody that, like, I considered to keep in my life for a while, and I kind of messed up. Well, I didn't kind of mess up, I did. I messed up really bad by just trying to do that. And I get it. Like, there were 2 people in the car, and one tried to jump out. There was a reason for it. I'm not going into details why, but, you know, there was a reason for it. And I need to stop running from things that scare me. I need to turn around and face them head on. And I think everybody's gonna see in my videos that I'm gonna be posting that some might be a little emotional, but it's gonna be me changing. It's gonna be a process of everybody seeing me change. I need to change my life. I need to change the way I view myself. Like, I have all these pictures behind me of, like, a wonderful, like, yeah, okay, I had abuse growing up, but I had a good life. I had, like, the best life that my parents could give me. And I still had, like, some sort of bad trauma that happened in my life, and I don't want to talk about it on video, but I had bad trauma in my life. I get it. You know, I've gone through it. You know, I didn't have a break in, like, oh, well, guess what? You get trauma for this many years, and you get, you know, calm, collective security, and, like, you're happy for, like, 6 years, and then you get trauma again. I didn't have that. I went straight from trauma to trauma. And a lot of family members and a lot of friends growing up didn't know about my childhood trauma, because I didn't want anybody to know, and I didn't want anybody to judge me. And now that I'm, like, I'm gonna be 29 next year, like, I'm almost 30. This has been going on for 2 decades, like, and I need to be the one to stop it. I need to get on a good diet. I'm gonna go on paleo, because I really don't think I could do keto. Like, you know, I praise everybody who can do keto, but I know I cannot do keto. And not just that, like, I need to get on a regular schedule. Like, yeah, okay, I work grave. I work 10:30 to 6:30 in the morning. I still need to be up during the day. I need to get my exercise in during the day. I need to get my house, you know, duties, whatever, laundry, you know, take a shower, take care of myself. Like, focus on me and stop focusing on everybody else, and everybody else being okay. You know, yeah, okay, I do still care about people. Just because I'm working on myself doesn't mean I can't care. It just, I don't even know. Like, I feel so, like, honestly, I feel really horrible for doing that to my friend, because, like, nobody deserves to be thrown into that, like, really bad. Like, I understood that they knew that I had some kind of trauma in my life, but they didn't know what exactly detail wise. They didn't know, like, how bad I could get until I got to that point and I jumped out of their car, or tried to. They saved my life, and I really, really wish I could thank them in a way without saying it, like maybe just showing it, I guess. I'm hoping that maybe I can make the next decade better. Like, the next 10 years from now, when I'm 38, I can look back at this and be like, yeah, I jumped out of a car on the interstate out of a weird suicide attempt, and this person saved my life. If it wasn't for them, yeah, okay, they're gonna be 46 in 10 years. But if it wasn't for them holding me while I was kicking their car door and screaming and telling them to let me go and all this stuff, if it was not for them and their capability to push aside whatever process was going through their head, like, this is really happening, oh my god, I need to react, and I need to react now. If they were unable to do that, I wouldn't be here right now. 10 years from now, I want to look back on it and be like, remember when I made that YouTube video and I was crying and blubbering like a fucking whale, like, in front of my fucking picture wall, like, talking about this wonderful fucking book? Like, I want to thank you. 10 years from now. You know, people always ask, well, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Well, where do I see myself in 10 years? 1, at a healthier weight. Yeah, okay, I've lost 110 pounds since being here in Nevada. But I want to be at a healthy weight. I want to be like a CrossFit chick. I want to have muscles. I want to be able to do muscle ups every fucking day. Like, I want that. That is a fucking goal. Like, and it is a real goal for me. Like, I want to be so physically fit, it's ridiculous. I want to talk about, like, paleo this, and like, this recipe is so amazing, and like, look at this workout, like, I was able to do it 20 times or whatever, or, you know, like, I meant not even all of the outside stuff. Like, look, I'm mentally stable now. Like, my chemicals in my brain are okay. Like, I'm able to go all day without thinking about killing myself, instead of just little moments here and there, because it's sad that, like, I can't even spend time with my family and not think about killing myself. Yeah, my abuser from childhood is not here in my life anymore. I don't associate with them. They don't talk to me. I don't talk to them. Cool. You know, we went our separate ways. That's what I wanted. But I still can have a smile on my face and be laughing and having a good time. But really, inside my head, I'm thinking about killing myself. Like, how can I stop myself from thinking like that? Is just fucking don't think about it. Some people tell me all that all the time. Just don't think about it, and then you won't think about it. No, it's not that easy. Like, it's not easy for somebody who has had trauma for the last 2 decades. Like, that is freaking hard. Like, 20 years of trauma, like, who even can, like, I don't know anybody that, personally, not like some famous person, like, I mean, like, personally, on a personal level, I have never met anybody who has gone through that many years of trauma to sit in front of me today and be like, it's gonna be okay. You'll be fine 10 years from now. Trust me, it's gonna be okay. When I'm sitting here by myself every fucking night and I know that my family's here for me, I fucking live with them. It's just so hard to, like, I can't even grasp, like, the feeling of being happy. And it sucks because, like, I want to be happy so bad and I'm trying so hard. And it feels like every time I get close, it gets taken away. It gets pushed away. I run from it because I feel like I'm afraid that the second that I get happy, something bad's gonna happen. Like, I met my ex-husband and I was happy for like a really long time. And then something changed and our relationship went downhill before we even got married. I got married for the wrong reasons. Yes, I made that adult decision to walk down the aisle, sign the paperwork, do all the other stuff. You know, do all that adult stuff. But it's like, I made that decision right then and there. Like, yeah, I'm gonna marry this guy. I want to be with him for the rest of my life. And I didn't. 4 years later, I am sitting on a bed in my mother's house. In my own room. Yeah, okay, I get it. At least I have my own room and I'm not sleeping on the couch. But 4 years down the road, I'm by myself. Okay, I have friends, I have family, so I'm not alone. But I don't have anybody laying here next to me at night. I don't have somebody when I wake up from fucking like some crazy ass dream or some horrible nightmare that I have almost every night to tell me it's okay. Like, yeah, I get it. One day it'll happen if I let it. But it's not even just about having someone next to me. It just, like, I wish I felt like I had more support. And I know that my followers will, you know, comment and say, hey, you know, I'm here for support. You know, if you ever want to talk, just, you know, message me or whatever. I get it and I appreciate it. I really do. It's just, like, I wish that I could feel it. Like, I see it, I just don't feel it. And it sucks. Like, it really, really sucks. Like, I'm sorry my camera's shaking a lot. I'm using my foot to keep it stable so it doesn't fall over because I'm sitting on my bed. But anyways, I feel like I'm probably never gonna be able to grasp the feeling of happy. Like, just happy, not ecstatic, not okay, like, not just okay. Like, there's a difference between being okay and being happy and being overly happy. I want to be in the middle. I want to be, like, I'll be comfortable in the middle. Like, I don't want to be just okay. I don't want to wake up every morning and be like, okay, I gotta go pay my bills. Okay, it's nighttime, now I gotta go eat. You know, gotta go eat the same meal that I eat every night by myself in my little tiny kitchen on my little tiny table with my fucking dog, whatever, and then just go to work, come home, wake up the next morning, go to school, maybe, you know, well, most likely, because I want to go back to school and I have goals that I do want to achieve. But even when I reach those goals, like, am I gonna feel like it's enough? Like, really? Like, that thought goes through my mind, like, every time I do anything. Like, even with this job, I love my job. Like, yeah, okay, I don't get paid as much as I'm used to getting paid, which is fine. It's a job. And I am more than happy to do it every day with a smile on my face. They call me and ask me to cover for somebody and do a double. I will do it with a smile on my face. I will not take a break if I can't. You know, if there's no time for a break, I'm not going to take a break. I'll do my job and I'll be happy. You know, I'll put a smile on my face even if I'm having some weird turmoil inside my brain. I'm ecstatic because my job is helping me move towards my goals. It's giving me the funds to be able to go back to school. And eventually, I have to wait, but eventually I want to become a manager at my job. And it's going to take some time. And definitely going to the hospital for almost a week is not something that a manager usually does. So I do need to get stable before I can even think about that. And I need to not even get ahead of myself on that. But it just, I don't know, I feel like I'm rambling on, but I'm gonna end this video on a note that read this book, please. If you're going through some emotional whatever, or you have PTSD or some traumatic event in your life, or you feel like any moment you will freaking flip, this book is freaking amazing. Like, thank you, Daniel Goleman, for freaking writing this. Like, I'm not even done. I'm not even halfway through the book, and it has already helped me. And I only started reading it on Sunday. Like, it hasn't even been a week. And I can already not really see changes, but, like, I can feel it mentally. Like, something is moving towards a positive note. And I think with my friend that was driving the car, when I did try to jump out of the car, that it's just going to take time. And I'm going to have to show them and prove to them that I'm doing better. Like, that's going to take time. Like, I'm going to have to work towards my goals. And my goals are to get physically fit, go back to school, get my life together, get back to me. Like, not my ex-husband, not dealing with any of that stuff. Just get back to being myself again. And I think when I get to that point, when I feel like I'm me again, I am Emily. Like, I've changed to such a better person and such a bright individual, whatever. Like, I'm like somebody that people look up to. I think at that moment, I will be really happy. Like, for real, like, truthfully. Like, deep inside, more than just my heart, but, like, my soul will feel it. Like, I will be actually happy for once and not have all this stupid stuff in my head, and I'll be able to live my life and not pretend to be happy when I'm not, because I know that, like, I can't go to work crying. I can't be around my family and be emotional all the time, because nobody likes that. I've been through that stage already. When I was a teenager, I was the emotional one. I was the one that would cry when someone died in a Disney movie, and everybody else just fucking went along the way. I was the one that fucking, like, was on medication because I couldn't get past the trauma that was happening in my life. Granted, none of my counselors or my psychologists or nobody knew about it because I kept that stuff inside. And that right there, I'm telling you right now, no matter what, whoever's watching this, I don't even care if nobody's watching this because it gets it out of my head. But if something's causing you trauma, be it a person, a thing, a place, an animal, no matter what no matter what it is, let it be known. Like, hey, you're an adult. I'm a kid. Don't touch me like that. That's not okay. Or, hey, I'm 20 years old. Don't touch me. I don't deserve to be treated like that just because I'm a female or a male, because men can get attacked too. I don't deserve to be treated this way because I'm a human and so are you. Treat me as you would want to be treated, not the other way around. And I think if people were to start addressing their, I don't want to say abusers because that doesn't sound right to me, but like whatever's causing you trauma, if you were to address it ahead of time or before it even gets out of hand, I think it might change a lot in the, not just in your life, but just in the world itself. Like that would shift so much for somebody to just be like if I knew all of this when I was going through the trauma in my life as a child, if I were to be able to go up to that person and be like, hey, I'm 8 years old. Why are you doing this? Why? I don't know why. Because you're nasty and you're a bad person and you have like demons inside you, and I can see it and I can feel it, but I'm not going to say anything because I know that if I say anything, you're going to hurt my family or you're going to hurt me more, and it's going to get me nowhere. But really, even if you don't tell the person not to do it, no matter how much you fight back, if you go to a counselor, you go to school counseling, whatever, tell somebody. Like, I'm freaking, like, I'm begging you, like, please, like, if you are going through something, even at my age, at 28, don't let someone hurt you, because it's not fucking worth it in the end. Like, for somebody to hurt you for so long, it just, don't do stupid things like I did. Don't jump out of moving vehicles on an interstate, because it is traumatic. I'm still dealing with it, and I guarantee that my friend is dealing with it right now, probably feeling the same way that I am feeling, but a little bit different. You know, they have a problem with alcohol, so they're probably drinking, and it's, you know, it's my fault, and I shouldn't think that way, but I have problems, and I'm not trying to make anyone else's problems seem small, but please, like, if something in your life is causing you pain, physical, emotional, anything like that, stop it before it gets too hard or it gets too late to stop it. Like, I'm 28 and I'm still dealing with stuff that happened when I was 8 years old, and stuff that happened in my 20s, like early 20s, and I can't tell you how much it sucks, because you don't know it until you experience it yourself. Anyways, have a nice night, everybody. I think it's like almost 3 o'clock right now in the morning, and I have to work tomorrow night. But please, if you're going through something, read this book. This is not, like, I'm not trying to promote anything. this is just a really good book. Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman. It's a good book. And it can help you open your eyes to a lot. And I'm not even halfway through it. So, if you have any comments, just, be nice, please, because I'm going through a lot. So, have a good night, everybody. And I will try to record another video next week, but with everything going on, I might not. It just depends. But I will keep everybody updated. Most of you follow me on all my social media handles, but, life happens. Have a good night, everybody, and I will see you next week.